Hello and welcome. Happy Memorial Day. My name's Casey. This is the Monday 5:30 Mindfulness Meditation half hour. Great to see you. For people who have not established a meditation practice or maybe have never practiced meditation, it can seem like a very intimidating practice or process. I think that there's a lot of misconceptions about meditation, and some people see it as a mystical or religious or maybe even supernatural sort of practice. And really, it can be those things if you want it to be. Meditation is like any practice, it's whatever you want it to be. The more you practice, the more it becomes your own, the more you can fine tune it to what really serves you or works for you and your lifestyle and your practice and all of that. But at its most fundamental foundational aspect, meditation is very practical. It's very practical. It's very beneficial. It's one of the best things you can do for yourself. And I think that modern science is actually doing very well in showing people just how beneficial the effects and the effects of meditation are to people who practice it. And I've been playing guitar for 25 years, and there's still so much that I don't know about the guitar. And I'll never fully know everything about the guitar. There's just so many different areas of the instrument that I may never even scratch the surface of, because I have my own distinct style based on influences that I've had since I was a kid, and influences that continue to come up more currently, just from listening to music and studying that. But there's so many other genres of music that I may listen to, but I'll never really understand how to play it, or at least not to the point where I can play it. But there are times where I sit down and play the guitar and I think of songs that I haven't played or thought about in sometimes years, and I'm still able to play them when they come into my head. I think, how did I play that again? And it may take me, a couple of moments, but then all of a sudden I'm just playing it again. And one of the reasons for that is muscle memory. Another reason, admittedly, is that my brain operates that way. Some people are very good at mathematics and they're just naturally good at numbers. Some people are, very easy to determine directionally where they are. I'm not like that. I don't do well with numbers and directions. If I don't have my phone, I'll get lost indefinitely. But growing up in an artistic sort of family, we grew up in a very musical household. So ever since a young age, this stuff was just very easy for me. So some of it has to do with that I can just pick up these songs that I haven't played in a while. But also it's the fact that I've been playing guitar for 25 years, and these songs, these pieces of music, these ideas stay with you even if you don't really think about it. And that's a practice just like anything else. And the more we practice meditation, the easier it becomes. And we're not only training our mind, but we're training our body as well. It's been said that meditation is to your mind what exercise is to your body. And meditation is indeed a very mental exercise. I mean, it's been shown to change the structure of your brain, to grow the gray matter in your brain, and to take advantage of what's called neuroplasticity, which is the fact that your brain is malleable. And through meditation, mindfulness, we can actually change the very structure, the very shape of our brain. Very exciting stuff, very cool stuff. There's what was once common knowledge scientifically is that the brain degrades over time. And as we get older, the brain starts to degrade. But it's actually starting to show in science that that's not the case. Just like any muscle, we can actually continue to improve the brain, the function of the brain, the functionality, the quality of the brain can actually continue to be improved and optimized as we get older. So very exciting stuff. However, meditation is also a physical exercise, although it may not seem like we're doing much. From the outside looking in, it looks like we're just sitting still and doing nothing, which is true, but we are intentionally doing nothing. We're sitting down and making it a point to be mindfully still. And the vast majority of us operate in autopilot 99% of the time. And it's only when oftentimes in emergency situations or in very intense, impressionable situations one way or the other, that we're kind of snapped out of that autopilot and we're in the present moment. However, we can access the present moment whenever we'd like, and that becomes more accessible the more we practice meditation, because the antidote or the solution to doing everything in autopilot, the solution to doing everything in or doing everything mindlessly, is to do nothing mindfully, is to sit still and do nothing and notice what that's like and fully do nothing. There's a Chinese saying that it's better to do nothing than to be busy doing nothing. It's better to be mindfully doing nothing than to be an autopilot doing a bunch of things, but really not doing anything because we're not here fully in the present moment. The more we practice, just like guitar, just like any practice, it's easier to access that, because not only does our mind know and is able to remember the elements of the practice, but our body knows too. We're strengthening that mind-body connection that starts with awareness of the breath. That's the doorway that brings us to connection with the body, connection with the feelings, connection with the mind and the objects of the mind, to reference the four establishments of mindfulness. And so even if it feels like we're going through the motions, which oftentimes it can feel that way because it doesn't seem like we're really doing much, this practice is very subtle. But I think that much of the power and the transformational efficacy of the practice lies in the fact that it's so subtle that it may seem like we're not doing much, but the more we do nothing mindfully, the more we start to realize, oh, wow, this is actually changing everything. Because if I can do nothing mindfully and focus on the present moment right now, breath by breath, moment by moment, all of a sudden that starts to expand and translate and integrate into the other moments in our life where we are moving, where we are doing things, where we are more active, we could say, on a physical level. Meditation is a passive, it's passive activity. We are intentionally being passive. And within that passivity, there's an activation in the awareness of whatever the present moment's giving us on a physical level, physiological, psychological. And the more we do that, even if it's for 5 minutes, you may have heard that it's better to practice anything 5 minutes a day than, an hour, one day a week. Consistency is key here, just like any other practice. If you want to be a runner, we have to run. If we want to play guitar, you got to sit down and play the guitar if you want to establish that practice to the point where you can just pick it up and play something, and you're not even really thinking about it because you've put the time in thinking about it. You've put in the time. You've cut your teeth, as some people say, cut your teeth on the practice, and it becomes easier that way. And even when it's difficult, or even when you don't want to do it, just do it anyways, because that's the practice. And in the context of yoga, I've said before that your yoga practice becomes a practice when you don't feel like doing it and you do it anyways. Otherwise, it's just a convenient activity, which is great. That's fine too. Yoga is awesome under any circumstances, whether it's convenient or not. But when you think to yourself, I really don't want to practice, and you think, well, I'm going to practice anyways. It doesn't really matter if I want to practice or not. I'm there for my practice, and it doesn't really matter how I feel right now. I'm just going to do it. That's when that's where we start to get some of that depth. And that's where we can start to really experience the greater benefits of the practice, because we're not just doing it when it suits us, we're just doing it, which is what we're going to do right now. So I wanted to make sure we get at least a little bit of time in. So find a comfortable seated position, and we'll start to practice, just like any other practice. Familiarize ourselves and relax. Spine is long, shoulders relaxed. Take a few deep breaths. As you breathe in, know that you're breathing in. As you breathe out, know that you're breathing out. For the next 15 minutes or so, I'm going to do nothing mindfully. Take a few deep breaths. And give yourself gratitude for showing up, practicing for 15 minutes, investing in your practice. When you're ready, gently blink your eyes open. The more we familiarize ourselves with the practice of meditation, the more we make it our own practice. And then it's fine tuned to what really works for us. In order to do that, obviously, the more we practice, the more we're able to realize the kind of practice that we want, the kind of practice that serves us best. And that can change over time. But what matters most is that we continue to practice and invest in that. I want to thank you for investing in your practice and sharing your practice with me. Enjoy the rest of your Memorial Day.